Mild irritation. Everyone believes anger is simply good or bad emotion, but human anger exists on 10 distinct escalating levels. Level 1 begins with subtle eye twitches and sighs. Your brain releases tiny cortisol amounts preparing for action. Traffic jams create this baseline irritation lasting several minutes. Annoyed frustration. Technology glitches and slow internet connections trigger level 2. Your jaw muscles begin tightening while breathing becomes shallow. Passive-aggressive comments escape your mouth without conscious thought. However, this level remains completely socially acceptable in workplace. Rising heat. Unfair treatment or public embarrassment pushes anger into dangerous territory of escalation. Your face flushes visibly red while heart rate increases. Voice volume rises beyond normal conversation levels, drawing unwanted attention from others. Adrenaline starts flooding your bloodstream, preparing for potential physical confrontation or escape. Visible anger. Level 4 anger becomes impossible to hide from observers. Clenched fists, trembling hands, and aggressive body language signals. Your prefrontal cortex begins losing control over emotional responses. Rational thinking becomes increasingly difficult as primitive brain areas take command completely. Words become weapons designed to hurt rather than communicate. Hot temper. Personal insults or betrayal by trusted friends ignites level 5 hot temper. Your entire body becomes a pressure cooker ready to explode at any moment. Sweating profusely while muscles tense for immediate violent action. Social filters completely disappear as inappropriate words pour out without any censorship. However, most people can still pull back from this dangerous emotional cliff. Burning rage. Systematic injustice or repeated humiliation creates burning rage that consumes rational thought. Level 6 represents the point where anger transforms into a dangerous, destructive force. Tunnel vision focuses exclusively on the target of fury. Physical strength increases dramatically through adrenaline while pain sensitivity decreases to nothing. Property damage becomes likely as objects become outlets for overwhelming emotional energy. Explosive fury. Life-threatening situations or extreme betrayal triggers explosive fury. Level 7 represents complete loss of behavioral self-control. The person becomes a walking weapon, capable of extreme violence without warning. Screaming replaces normal speech while throwing objects becomes instinctive. Memory formation stops functioning properly during this explosive state. Later, the person cannot remember their actions during this terrifying episode clearly. Blind wrath. Witnessing harm to loved ones or children creates blind wrath beyond control. Level 8 eliminates all moral restraints and social boundaries. The person acts purely on primitive survival instincts without considering long-term consequences of actions. Superhuman strength emerges as the body releases every chemical designed for survival. Cars can be lifted and furniture thrown like toys. Destructive force. Level 9 transforms humans into destructive forces of nature. Everything within reach becomes a potential weapon or target. Windows shatter, walls get punched, and doors get ripped completely off hinges. The person becomes temporarily insane with single-minded focus on total destruction. Police intervention becomes necessary to prevent serious injury or permanent property damage. However, even at this extreme level, recovery remains possible. Total meltdown. Level 10 represents complete psychological breakdown where anger consumes the entire personality. Total meltdown occurs when the cumulative trauma exceeds human capacity for emotional processing. The person becomes unrecognizable to family, friends, and themselves. Years of suppressed anger explode simultaneously, creating a psychological tsunami. Professional intervention and possible hospitalization become absolutely necessary for everyone's safety, including the person experiencing this devastating emotional nuclear meltdown completely. Understanding these 10 levels helps identify warning signs before reaching dangerous territory.